What's good, Commanders fans? That was Dan Quinn turning up, the team turning up. You see the caption that says the brotherhood, man. How could you not want to run through a wall for a coach like that? That's just turned up, man. I'm just turned up watching that video, man. I'm teed up. I'm turned up, man. My man Dan Quinn getting turned up. This is an every week thing, man. This is an every week thing. And this is why Adam Schefter put that tweet out. And this is why players want to be here. They see this. They see the team camaraderie, the chemistry, the energy, the vibes, the aura that we give off right now. Everybody turn up in the locker room. Having a coach that believes you. We got players on other teams talking on podcasts, talking about Dan Quinn from rival teams, talking about how good of a coach Dan Quinn, how much confidence that Dan Quinn puts that battery in their back. So I just want to I didn't get a chance to talk about the Adam Schefter article. So if you guys didn't know, if you didn't see this, Adam Schefter put out a tweet. He put out a whole article, and this is legit because, Adam Schefter is the top. He is the top of the top beat reporters for ESPN. He is the top, and he's usually been right. He was right about us not getting Ben Johnson or Mike McDonald. He was right about that. So Adam Schefter, more than usual, he's been more right than wrong. And this is the tweet that he put out. He said players have been asking their agents and telling their agents that they want to play for the Commanders. And he put in that tweet, he said, here's a sentence that hasn't been written or uttered this century since before Dan Snyder owned an NFL franchise. Players want to wind up in Washington playing for the Commanders. So like I said in my previous video, people saw that Hail Mary. The whole world was watching. They saw that Hail Mary last week, and everybody's like, the Commanders, they got something going. And they've seen this for weeks. They've seen this since the Monday Night Football game against the Bengals where Jaden took over, where Jaden showed the world who he is and what kind of quarterback he was going to be, where he dominated that game and threw that game-winning touchdown basically to Terry McLaurin, that beautiful, beautiful throw that he lofted up there for Terry to come in for the touchdown. But players see this, man. And everybody that has come here gotten better. Even the coaching staff. Bobby Johnson, we gave up 0 sacks today. 0 sacks to the Giants. When Bobby Johnson was coaching the Giants offensive line, they were awful. But he comes over here and look at these offensive line. It's not just because of Bobby Johnson, but that's just a example. Dante Fowler is having a career year. Terry McLaurin is having a career year. Guys are coming here and getting better. Austin Eckler, everybody thought he was going to be washed. He's having a darn good year. B-Rob has even improved. Everybody, Andrew Wiley has improved. Nick Allegretti is coming in and balling. And this is one thing I'm going to read about you guys too. And then I'll talk about the trade market and stuff like that. But this is another thing that just shows camaraderie and how everybody loves playing with each other right now. So I'm gonna read this, and then of course, Malik Neighbors couldn't contain himself fawning over Jaden Daniels today. He just couldn't contain himself. Even during the game, Malik Neighbors was going over and talking to Jaden Daniels. Malik Neighbors, they're best buds. So, but this is something that I found out after the game that was interesting. So Nick Allegretti, he had to pop one of Brandon Coleman's fingers back in place mid-game. He said, quote, "I almost went down because I'm queasy." He said just pull it. So I just looked away. We got it back in. Never had to do it to a teammate. Glad it worked. Didn't enjoy that. So that just shows the chemistry and the camaraderie. My man Nick Allegretti had to pop back in Brandon Coleman's finger and do that. Not a trainer, but his teammate did that. And guys want to come here. I talked about how with Dan Snyder we had to fire up the jet. F1, we had to fire up the jet to pick up players. Albert Hainsworth, Jason Taylor. Even Josh Norman, overpaying him, all the free agent signings that we had to make, old washed up guys that we had to bring in, trading for Donovan McNabb. I can just go with the list on and on. So I'm not going to traumatize us over all the bad free agent signings and trades that we've done in the past of players who did, like when we traded for Carson Wentz didn't really want to be here. He just didn't have no trade calls and nobody else really wanted him. So this was the last hoorah for him. No, I don't want to give shots to Carson Wentz, but it's just an example of players want to come here. And the luxury of that too is that we get to select which players that want to come here. All these guys want to come here, but we got to pick the guys that fit our chemistry and that fit our culture that we have, the winning culture that we have. So just because you want to play here doesn't mean we want you back. Where before we wanted all these guys and they didn't want us unless we overpaid. So we have the luxury of making that choice. I don't know if it's Marshawn Lattimore who's saying he wants to come here. I don't know if it's Harold Landry Zadarius Smith is most likely going to be traded to the Lions. They reported that today. I don't know if J.C. Horn is requesting a trade after we beat him by 30 points or 25 points, however much we beat the Panthers by. Who else is out there? Jonathan Jones from the Patriots. He's like, get me out of here. I want to play with a winning team. You know, people, they're tired of being on losing teams. They want to come to the Commanders because they see the vision. They see the 7-2. They saw the 6-2 last week, and they want to be a part of this. Wide receivers, not too sure. I know Deontay Johnson's gone. Trying to think who else. T. Higgins, I don't think that's too realistic, to be honest with you. He's hurt right now, so I don't know how realistic. I think that's something that we revisit in the offseason. For the wide receiver market, I just don't really see much. But from a cornerback standpoint, you know, who knows? Who knows? And the Chiefs have been making calls to acquire Marshawn Lattimore. We have to be more aggressive than the Chiefs. The Chiefs have been aggressive. They already traded for DeAndre Hopkins. So if Adam Peters, if he really does need to make a move, he needs to hurry up and speed this up. The trade deadline is Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern or 4 p.m. Eastern. And the Chiefs are not going to play around. They're going to make a move. They're going to make a move. They're going to try to win another Super Bowl again and again and again. But, you know, I feel like we have a long window with a rookie quarterback on a good contract, on a rookie contract. We have over $100 million in cap space. We have 9 draft picks. We have 2 camera cutoff. We have 2/3, a second, 4th. We don't have a 5th because we traded that for Jahan. We traded Jahan Dotson. We attached the 5th round pick to him. We have a 7th. We have a couple 7ths that we got returned for John Ridgeway, and the Eagles gave us a couple 7ths. So we have a lot of ammunition. We have cap space, draft picks, so much stuff that we could do. That Adam Peters, so many weapons up his arsenal or draft capital, so many moves that he could make potentially. And the Saints lost today, guys. They lost to the Panthers. So I'm not saying that we're going to get Marshawn Lattimore, but that's just an example of things that I really think that may be achievable now since we're winning games and we are a destination. I mean, last year in the survey, we were the worst free agent destination in a survey. We had the worst facilities and all that stuff. And now nobody cares. People love Adam Peters. People love Dan Quinn. People love how Jaden Daniels is playing. He's an MVP candidate. He is a legit MVP candidate. He is an MVP candidate. Not just Offensive Rookie of the Year, because he won that now. Caleb Williams looked awful today. The Bears look awful. He won that. After the Hail Mary, he won that award. It's over. That's it. Vince Carter, it's over. It's done. And you compare us a little bit to the Texans. So you see what happened with C.J. Stroud last year when he won Rookie of the Year. They made the playoffs. They ended up getting Stephon Diggs in a trade. They ended up getting Danielle Hunter because they are a destination. They are 6-3. They're going to make the playoffs again. But we are legit a destination when last year we were last in the survey for everything. But you bring in a legitimate quarterback. You bring a competent front office, a leader of men in Dan Quinn, a darn good coaching staff with Anthony Lynn, Ken Norton, Bobby Johnson, Cliff Kingsbury, guys like that. They see how their offenses ran, where everybody gets touches. Sometimes it's Terry's, and a lot of times it's Terry. Here and there is Noah Brown. Here and there is Diami. Here and there is Zach Ertz, Austin Eckler, B-Rob. They know if they come here, they'll get involved in the offense, and they know defensively they can really help this team out. That's what they feel like, and they know that we have a legitimate shot of making a run in the playoffs. We are going to have a home playoff game. Mark my words. We're going to have a home playoff game this year for sure. So it's just intriguing to read this. I'm going to read a little bit of the article here, and then I'm going to wrap it up, guys. But the article, let me put it up here. Source: players want to be traded to the Commanders at the deadline. He says, in recent weeks, there have been players who privately stated or told their agents that they want to be traded to the Commanders, league sources told ESPN. It's possible the Commanders could comply by Tuesday's 4 p.m. Eastern trade deadline. The Commanders have explored adding a cornerback and could use help at wide receiver, according to league sources. So that's what Diana Rossini said yesterday as well. He said, but even if the Commanders can't complete any trades by the deadline, the fact that certain players would like to land in Washington bodes well for the franchise and free agency and in years to come, league sources told ESPN. That's why I said, don't force it. That's what I feel like too. Don't force it. If nobody really is legitimately available, like J.C. Horn's not available, Marshawn's not available, the Patriots don't want to trade Jonathan Jones or something like that. Tre'Davious White is too old, in my opinion, the corner from the Bills, and played with the Rams this past season. Don't force it. Don't force it, because the chemistry is good. The only, like I said, don't force it on the offensive side, but defensively, I feel like Adam should be aggressive to make a move. You know, you got to play the Eagles twice. The Cowboys are done. They're dead in the water. They're waving the white flag. They don't care anymore. But the Eagles are they're the only two games that I'm really concerned about a little bit. Maybe the Falcons a little bit later on with Drake London and Darnell Mooney and Kirk Cousins, but that's really it, guys. And the Steelers on Sunday. That's really it. So I mean, the defense, we gotta get somebody to help Ben St. Juice out there for sure and match up better against the more talented wide receivers that we're gonna see. Adam Schefter also says it's a function of new ownership, a new front office, and new coaching staff, and maybe most importantly, rookie quarterback. Not maybe, but most importantly, Jaden Daniels, who is contending for not only NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year, but also potentially MVP award as well. Daniels has helped turn around a franchise that is 6-2, really 7-2 now, and in first place in the NFC East. NFC East entering Sunday's game against the New York Giants that we just took care of business on a couple hours ago. He also said Washington's locker room rejoiced once one Commanders official noticed that Daniels at his locker watching everyone else in the room celebrate. Daniels looked calm and composed, and he seemed as if the dramatic victory was what he expected to happen that day. So just ice in his veins. So that's just stuff like that just shows that Jaden's a leader, man. So it's just awesome to see this, guys. It's like unbelievable. It's like, pinch me, is this happening to us? And it really is surreal, guys. And we deserve this. We've earned this. It's been 20 years, 30 years of bad football consistently. And it's like, why not us? It's about darn time. But this is just icing on the cake here. That's showing that people of talent really want to go here. That they're banging on the table. They're requesting their agents to make a deal happen. Send me to Washington, where this used to be football Siberia, where your career, you come here for your career to end, and you would come here for your coaching career to end. In the twilight zone for quarterbacks. So it's crazy what has transpired in the past couple months, guys. So let's just ride the wave, have fun with it. Like I said, Adam Peters, don't force a move if it's not there, but if it is there, definitely be aggressive and make it happen. As always, guys, Hail to Commanders. Let's keep winning. Victory Monday live tomorrow night at 7:15, 7:20ish. Hope to see you guys there. Hail to Commanders. Peace.